Hi everyone, I'm Jake, Marketing Assistant for the Enterprise team, and what you're about to see is an interview between myself and Devonte Brown talking about his experience on Enterprise Placement Year last year. Devonte is the founder of the exclusive menswear clothing brand Dechell Vontee. Many of you will be wondering what Enterprise Placement Year is, so before we get into the interview, let me just give you a rundown of the programme. Enterprise Placement Year, or EPY for short, is an alternative option to a traditional placement year. During EPY, you'll have the unique opportunity of spending 10 intensive but rewarding months starting your own business. You'll have the opportunity to meet with our business advisors regularly, attend workshops and events, network with new faces, and develop yourself as a whole. You can find out more about EPY on our website, but for now, let's head over to the interview. Hi everyone, so here I am with Devonte, our EPY student from last year. So before we get into asking some questions, we're just going to have a quick introduction from Devonte.
Hi there, guys. My name is Devonte, and I am a previous student of the EPY for last year. So I'm here with Jake just to answer any questions he may have about the course and how I did.
Brilliant. So if we just dive straight in. So can I start off by asking, how did you first hear about EPY and what made you choose it?
So I heard about EPY was in lecture, and it was placement week. So we had the placement officers come in to give a presentation. They was accompanied by a few students that had been on placement. Nicola was also there as well, and she was giving her presentation on EPY. And after Nicola did her presentation and spoke about EPY, said what it was and what it entailed, I automatically knew this is something that I wanted to do. I was a bit shaky on, the whole traditional placement and where I wanted to work. So when Nicola came and did the presentation on EPY, like I said, it was automatically I knew this is what I wanted to go for. This is what I'm going to apply to do, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I get on.
Yeah, brilliant. So EPY for you was an experience that ran over 10 months. So I guess sort of reflecting on them 10 months, what did you do in terms of the business?
So my business was a clothing brand. It was a clothing brand called Dechell Vontee. Now, Dechell Vontee is something that I always had envisioned in the future. So it was always something that I wanted to do. But being a student, it was hard finding the time, to get things off the ground, obviously, while being a student. So doing EPY, just finding out that it was like 10 months to a year that I could dedicate straight to my business. I thought, what it is, I'm gonna jump at the chance. And basically, the early stages on being on EPY, it was a lot of research based, because it's not just something you can just jump into and you're automatically. And there was a lot of research entailed. We had a very busy week. The first week, we had a lot of information from the business advisors just about business in general, finance, marketing, branding, stuff like that. So there was a few things we did quite early on. So it was from the get-go, it was jam-packed. Here we are, we're ready, and so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So by now you sort of, being a business owner, it's a case of learning new things every day. But I'd say by now you're sort of used to, running a business, owning your own business. So what would you say it's like to be developing and running your own business, and what support were you offered by the team?
Developing and running your own business, it is something that is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's easy. It is very, very hard, because in the early stages, you don't really know if you're on the right track. So say, for example, if you was just to start and run your own business and you wasn't a part of EPY, you can be doing something that you think is so right when really and being on EPY, it put us in a situation where we're developing our businesses, but if we was doing something wrong or was moving in the wrong direction, we had the business advisors there as mentors to kind of like steer us back in the right direction. And sometimes we were doing things right, but we thought we was just worrying, thinking, oh no, I'm not doing this and this, that, the other. And the business advisors was there just to say, no, Devonte, you're on the right track. Keep doing this. And yeah, we also had different types of support. So we had workshops. So one thing that was really good from the year was Pitch Club that was run by Sarah. And this is something we did every week. It was every Tuesday. At the end of the year, we do have a final pitch that we have to do. So Pitch Club was kind of like building us up to the final year, homing our skills, just getting everything really tight. But not even just for the end of year pitch, being able to develop our skills on Pitch Club. If you do continue to run your business after EPY and you seek investment, you've got those skills there. You remember everything you learn with Sarah. I know I definitely have. I'm in final year uni now, and our first project, the first part of that project, we have to do a 5-minute pitch. So me and as well as my colleagues that did EPY, I'm not going to say we're ahead of everybody else, but we've learned those skills. So everything's transferable.
Yeah.
Everything's transferable.
Brilliant. So you're sort of saying that you've used the services that the team provide and sort of put it to use in, when it came to final year. Yeah. Brilliant. So when it comes to speaking about EPY to students that are learning about it, one thing that we do stress is that as challenging as the year can be, it's also where the rewards come in. So no doubt for you it was challenging. And what do you think you got out of EPY?
The main thing that I'd say I got out of EPY was my business, Dechell Vontee. Like I said, Dechell Vontee is something that I always was planning on doing, but I feel like if I'd have done Dechell Vontee without being on EPY, I wouldn't have learned all the skills and I would have started at a lower level, should I say. I feel like being on EPY just gave me that extra boost. So yeah, I'm starting my own business, but I've started it at a high level, should I say. I've gone in there and I've learned all the skills that I needed to learn, that things that you can learn on your own, but having guidance from others, it just speeds up the process. And I think that's what EPY did. In the 10 months, you learn a lot of stuff in 10 months. I think, yeah, the stuff that you learn on EPY in 10 months would take some people 2-3 years, I believe. There's other things like just communication skills, network skills. Being on EPY, we're kind of like encouraged to communicate with our peers because everybody else is also a young entrepreneur. They're all doing their own businesses. So there was often times where the person sat next to you could be that person that you're desperately needing, whether that may be a graphic designer or someone that does marketing. I know for me, I needed someone to do a bit of web design, and I was sitting next to this girl, Beth. I was sitting next to Beth for quite a while, and it wasn't until the latter end of the year I found out what Beth actually does and how beneficial that would be for me. So me and Beth linked up and we got working together. So definitely communication skills and networking skills was a big thing that I took from EPY. A lot of things that I learned.
Yeah, brilliant. So just to finish it off with the last question, what advice would you give to someone thinking of doing EPY?
I'd say if you are planning to run your own business and you want to be self-employed, I'd definitely say jump at the chance of joining the scheme on EPY because there are a lot of things there for you, support, just the environment of being in the DOYEC. It's very professional. But the number one thing that I would say is communicate and speak to your peers, speak to the business advisors, and just speak to anyone who is in the DOYAC, anyone that walks past, kind of like try find out what they're doing. You can tell them what you're doing, because at the end of the day, you never know who you're speaking to, and that person that you're speaking to could be the person that you've been needing to find for the past 2 weeks or the past month. So definitely communicate and speak to as much people as possible, and just try to build your network, because if you have a strong network of people, it will get you far. I mean, I think it was Bruce, he put me in touch with the guys from Inc. They basically create like market material, like flyers, business cards, logos, and now they're a contact for me. So any promotional material I need, I go straight to them. Matt and Nicole, should I say, they created my promotional material for Dechell Vontee. I've started a second business venture now with a business partner, and we needed some promotional material, and there was an automatic contact that I had that I went straight to. I went straight to them, and I knew the quality of work. So definitely just communicate and try build your network as big as possible. That would be the advice that I would give.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, yeah, that's it. So thank you very much. You've been fantastic, and I hope everyone's found it useful and insightful listening to Devonte's experience. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.